Love him or hate him, Trump's presidency has been somewhat of a disinfectant when it comes to politics and when it comes to the the people behind the scenes, those who actually run the show and run their candidates and run their campaigns and finance their campaigns. And this is being brought to us by CNBC. Koch network opens its doors to Democrats as it expands political engagement. This is written by Brian Schwartz. Now, you may not be familiar with the Koch brothers, but they are notorious Republican donors. And this right here, and it's the main reason I'm doing this video, this right here really signifies how desperate the establishment, and it's whatever you want to call them, like, the hand, the invisible hand, or the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, or the Illuminati. Thanks, American Dad. Whatever you want to call them, they have to change their strategies and they have to change their tactics now because, well, the information is just so more widely and readily available that it's a lot harder to deceive people. It's easier, like, honestly, we live in a time where it's the easiest to deceive people, and it's also super hard to deceive people who actually take 2 minutes to do a little research. And so now we have the establishment running to a point where, hey, the party lines don't mean anything. And we all know this. I mean, this is something that if you've been a political observer for any amount of time, you know that the party lines really don't matter. It's more about who funds them, the special interest that got their back and puts them in the position to be able to hold whatever office or seat. So this is just it's just the what's the name? This is just the residuals of Trump's presidency, and I personally believe that this is a good one. Everybody's showing their hands now because guess what? They have to. So the Koch-backed Americans for Prosperity is opening its doors to backing Democrats running for office in 2019 and 2020. Historically, the political network has only backed Republicans. The move to open its doors to Democrats comes after recent disagreements with lawmakers and Trump on how they've handled the immigration status of Dreamers. The two sides have also disagreed on trade policy. Yeah, I mean, did you peep how Trump beat Mexico? Trump called them out and they tightened up real quick. The political arm of the network, funded in part by libertarian billionaire Charles Koch, is turning over a new leaf for the upcoming elections and expanding its engagement to include supporting Democrats running for office. In a memo distributed to employees and activists, Emily Seidel, CEO of Koch-affiliated Americans for Prosperity, said the organization is going into the next round of congressional elections being open to backing Democrats in primary fights as long as they support some of the network's proposed policies. I wonder which ones. Guys, okay, so check this out. I'm a Democrat. I come from Jersey, which is just a Democratic stronghold. My congressman is Congressman Donald Payne Jr., he's an admitted puppet. I mean, I've done videos on my other channel about his puppetry. So yeah. They definitely gotta walk the walk and back and be willing to back their proposals. AFP or AFP Action, the group's super PAC, will be ready to engage contested U.S. Senate, U.S. House, and state-level primary races, including Republican, Democrat, and Independent, or otherwise to support sitting legislators who lead by uniting with others to pass principled policy and get good things done, Seidel said. Historically, the political network has only backed Republicans running for Congress. Since the start of President Donald Trump's administration, the network as a whole, now titled Stand Together, has received numerous political victories, including the signing of criminal justice reform bill and passing of tax reform legislation. The move to open its doors to Democrats comes after recent disagreements with lawmakers and Trump on how they've handled the immigration status of Dreamers, immigrants brought into this country as children. The two sides have also disagreed on trade policy, with Trump remaining firm on tariffs that have been implemented on goods coming in from China. And the deal is that those tariffs are working. American, you can never underestimate America's want to buy worthless crap. In China, well, that's what they got, a ton of worthless crap. Who else you gonna sell to, pimp? Oh man, and this is part of the reason why I just can't hate Trump. As much as my surrounding community and everybody else would be like, oh man, you gotta hate Trump, I just can't do it, because my God, this is hilarious. For those candidates receiving the group's help in 2019 and 2020, they will get the reinforcement of 4 new political action committees based on the issues they've already been engaging on. The letter shows the 4 PACs will be called Economic Opportunity, Uniting for Free Expression, Uniting for Free Trade, and Uniting for Immigration Reform. They're designed to contribute to candidates who follow their desired policy initiatives. Uniting for Free Expression is pretty interesting. I mean, because you may or may not know, there's currently the Vox adpocalypse taking place on YouTube, where tons of creators, a lot of them right wing, but many of them apolitical, are getting demonetized left and right, primarily because the establishment realizes what it unleashed when when you had all these different YouTube commentators, the Tim Pools, the Sticks, Hexenhammers, the Jesse Lee Petersons, the Steven Crowders, the Tommy Sotomayors, all these guys, when you have all these different voices with, that are able to build magnificent platforms for themselves. I mean, it was all part of the strike back. So this really does fold into that. Make no mistake. This is all a matter of the establishment attempting to realign itself and regain control. The Economic Opportunity PAC, for instance, will finance campaigns that support removing business regulations, while the United for Free Trade PAC will spend on candidates who are vocal about the negative effect tariffs are having on U.S. consumers. Still, Seidel warns that some of the candidates they'll support will not always be directly on the same page with their organization, but said that's no longer going to stop them. You smell that? That's called desperation. We know that candidates will seldom agree with Americans for Prosperity on every issue, she said, but for those who do the politically difficult job of leading on a critical issue, these issue-specific PACs will make it clear why millions of Americans support them on that issue, even if they have principled disagreements on others. To be sure, the network has previously said it was willing to support Democrats, but then opted to side with only Republicans instead. During the build-up to the 2018 congressional elections, Koch himself told reporters at his annual donor conference in Colorado Springs, Colorado, that he didn't care which party a candidate was affiliated with, provided that they follow their policy model. Yeah, see, it's not about the party. It's about the agenda. Americans for Prosperity supported only Republican candidates, and the GOP failed to maintain its majority in the House of Representatives after the 2018 elections. Republicans in the Senate maintained their advantage. Going into the next set of elections, Democrats in the House have at least 11 seats marked as toss-ups, while Republicans only have 5, according to Larry Sabato's crystal ball. Okay, yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the article. So, yeah, this is actually what I find to be just one of the more fascinating side effects of Trump's presidency. I mean, the fact that the well-known red teamers are like, hey man, hey blue team, you guys, hey corporate blue team, elitist corporate puppet blue team, we got money if you want some. And I think they're having such a focus on the congressional races and in the House, primarily because even they realize that this president, Trump's going to get another 4 years. That's without question at this point. And so they're trying to, set themselves up and recalibrate. And you can't really be mad at that at all. I'm not knocking the hustle. I'm not knocking the game. I'm just pointing out that, yeah, this is taking place in real time. So with that being said, all the internet stuff. Like if you liked it, sub if you enjoyed my fantastic voice, share because sharing is caring, and speak. Let me know. Do you see any other reason for the Koch network to be talking about opening its doors to Democrats unless there really isn't any difference between Democrats and Republicans and it's all about the green team, like blue squad and the red side? That does not matter. It hasn't mattered for a very long time. It is a matter of optics. It's a matter of, oh man, which gang am I part of? Gang, son, bang, bang. So, that's what that is. That's all it's been. All this political saying, oh man, we gotta stick with Democratic Party and all this other stuff. The way I really have it broken down is that they work in tandem. They work as a team. The Republican Party, or Republican side, red team, they finance the nonsense that is, urban communities and urban America. Whereas the blue team, they oversee it and, make sure that the funding gets to where it needs to go in order to create the most negative impact for the urban demographic, you know? So until the next one, guys.